You are listening to Japan Experts, the podcast that helps you plan, book, and enjoy an effortless and immersive journey to Japan. Excited to visit Japan but overwhelmed by endless options, confusing transport, or language barriers? I get it. I'm Miyuki Seguchi, licensed guide and your cultural bridge to Japan. I've helped countless travelers turn their Japan dreams into seamless and unforgettable adventures, and I'll help you do the same. In every episode, you'll discover local tips, expert knowledge, and first-hand insights to plan with ease, travel confidently, and create lifelong memories in Japan. Ready to do this, Cassie? Let's dive in! Today, I'd like to share a bonus conversation I had with the Travel Writers Radio podcast about traveling to Japan. We explore a range of topics from over-tourism and choosing where to visit to some of the things many travelers don't always think about when planning a trip to Japan. I hope you enjoy our conversation and pick up a few ideas for your own travels.
Graham Kemlow introduces the newest member of the team, Miyuki Seguchi, who has lived both in Japan and the UK, where she earned a master's in journalism. Miyuki is a licensed tour guide in Japan and speaks with Graham tonight about the cultural differences, or are they similarities, between our people. It is an important concept to understand if you are visiting at the moment with so many other international travellers.
Miyuki, welcome to Travel Writers Radio. It's lovely to have you there, and I thank you for sort of getting in touch with us and offering us your services.
Yes, thank you so much for your kind and great introduction. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, that's great. How many years have you been touring people around Japan?
So I've been providing a tours for more than 5 years, I'd say.
Okay. And you're not based in Tokyo, are you?
I am based in central Japan, although I have lived in Tokyo for quite some time before returning to my home region, which is central Japan.
Right. And is it a bit quieter there where you live?
It
not
is
as crazy as Tokyo, maybe? I mean,
so
crazy good, not crazy bad.
So compared to Tokyo, it is definitely quieter. I'm based in central Japan, which is the region is called Chubu. That is that literally means a central region in Japanese.
Okay. And you're saying it's not as busy as Japan from a tourist point of view. So maybe it's Japan's best kept secret. I'm just trying to get a handle on how busy you are there.
Yes, I'm glad you asked, because central region is often where which is very easily accessible because it is right in the center of Japan, and it's about the midway if you're traveling from Tokyo to another famous city, which is Kyoto, which is located in the western part of Japan. Yep. Obviously, Tokyo is located in the eastern part of Japan, and the central region is right in the center of the area where people are often traveling by the high-speed train network called Shinkansen. And but a lot of people stay on the train and don't even take the opportunity to stop off and explore. And there is a lot to see here. And one of the great characteristics of the center of Japan is it is one of Japan's biggest manufacturing centers, and which is also the home of the craft people and the artisans. So we have a lot of the traditional crafts such as samurai swords, kitchen knives, kimono fabric, pottery. So all these sort of the craft center. Okay. And also it is known for the famous samurai castles. So if you'd like to learn more about samurai history and the culture, this is an area where you can experience the castles that date back to the 400 years ago.
Wow. Okay. That would be interesting, actually. So I'd probably love to come and look at that part of Japan. Now, I did say to you that there's some stories being published about the fact that Japan has a lot of visitors at the moment. We know that, and Australians are among the visitors. But there's sort of a suggestion that maybe the Japanese are not happy about so many visitors. I mean, is that true, or would you say that the media maybe are just beating that story up a little bit?
So I've been thinking about how to best respond to this kind of questions, because I think there's a lot to say and a lot to be addressed on this issue. So instead of answering this question with a simple yes and no, I'd like to share a story that I think helps explain what's really happening.
Yeah.
So you may have seen the famous view of Mount Fuji with cherry blossoms and the pagoda on the right.
Yes.
It's one of Japan's most iconic sites and also one of the places most affected by over-tourism.
Right.
So even when I visited on a weekday, I still had to wait more than an hour to reach the viewing area. And there was a security guard managing the queue and allowing only a small number of people into the viewpoint at a time so that everyone could enjoy it safely and comfortably. So hundreds of people were waiting patiently, and many of them were international visitors. At one point, a couple of people approached the guard and explained it in English that their friends were already at the viewing spot. They asked if they could skip the queue and join them. The Japanese guard appeared to be doing his best to communicate in English, but his response came across as blunt and forceful.
Oh.
As someone who has lived abroad and speak both English and Japanese, I could see how difficult that conversation was for him. So when you are speaking a second language, it's often much harder to sound polite and nuanced.
Yes.
So what you mean to say and what actually comes out can be very different, even when that isn't your intention.
Yes.
So at the same time, he couldn't explain the cultural context behind that expectation. So in Japan, waiting your turn and considering the people around you is an important part of daily life. So everyone in that queue had been waiting patiently, so making an exception would have felt unfair to the others.
Yeah,
so without understanding that, the visitors became frustrated and responded aggressively to the guard. So now there were both Japanese and international visitors watching this interaction.
Right.
So if you are a visitor who doesn't understand the cultural context, you may feel that the guard is being unnecessarily rude or inflexible. But if you are a Japanese person watching the same situation and you don't understand English, you may come away thinking that foreign visitors are not trying to respect the local culture and then become loud when they are challenged. Even though the vast majority of visitors are respectful and genuinely want to understand the culture, it's often these small negative interactions that people remember. So I don't think either side was necessarily trying to be rude. So they were simply approaching the situation through completely different cultural lenses. But when we talk about challenges created by over-tourism, there are many different issues involved. But one of the biggest challenges is that visitors are exploring Japan on their own terms without always being aware of the expectations, values, and social norms of the place they are visiting. So I've seen similar situations many times while traveling around Japan and through my work supporting travelers. So when you're with a guide who understands both Japanese and international perspectives,
Miyuki, I absolutely agree with the Japanese guard, because even in our culture, we understand that we wait patiently in a queue, and we would probably, in Australia, if somebody tried to jump the queue, we would probably, those of us standing in it, might just say, hey, mate, wait your turn. So I don't think our values are that different. I'm not sure where the international people came from, and I guess they were just trying to experience something with their friend. But clearly there's another issue at play, which is that this is a hugely popular destination to see Mount Fuji and the cherry blossoms, the pagoda and the rest of it. So they should understand that. So I'm supporting you on that. I think probably it was the wrong decision for them to try to be put forward up the queue. And I absolutely agree with the sentiment you've expressed there. We need to be respectful as tourists where maybe there are some cultural differences that are quite distinctly different from our own. I don't, well, you can tell me, but I don't think that politeness is something exclusive to one country or another. I think we all understand the need to be polite and respectful and sometimes to wait our turn.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I said, like a majority of the visitors are very respectful and they genuinely want to understand the Japanese culture also. But I have heard and also witnessed some of the incidents where these kind of visitors probably without intention, but they some of the behaviors may not be in aligned with what we
expect.
Yeah, we expect and what we do in everyday life. Yeah, some of the issues are regarding the over-tourism in Japan. Yeah.
Right. I guess it starts with a crowd, doesn't it? It starts with there being more people than usual in a particular place. Obviously, the cherry blossom is a short season when the trees are flowering, so there's a rush to be there at that season. But I've also heard that it can be beautiful there in autumn when the leaves colour up and ultimately fall from the trees. So that's 2 seasons you could visit. You don't have to be there when the cherry blossoms up, do you?
Yeah, that's correct. And just things I wanted to add is that every season has its own beauty. So it doesn't have to be the cherry blossoms or the autumn leaves, but there are other times that you could visit, and depending on your interest, you can absolutely enjoy your stay here.
Do you think that it would be a good idea if people want to go to Japan and they're unsure of some of the customs? Would it be a good idea for them to engage a travel guide, to take them around, to show them, to smooth the way for them?
Definitely. I think one of the values the guide can provide is to help avoid these unexpected situations, including what we just discussed, as well as helping them appreciate Japanese culture even better. Not only helping them explore the areas that's less visited, but also helping them see Japan from the different perspectives so that they can appreciate the culture better.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And obviously you are a guide. So do you normally have people contact you from outside the country and say, hey, I'm coming in this particular period, and, would you be able to give us X number of days around Japan or around Kyoto or, whatever their particular interest is? Is that how it works?
So I work quite differently from other guides, other typical guides in Japan. So I offer both personalized trip planning support before travelers arrive in Japan and private customized tours while they are here. So what I do is, of course, if they connect with me, I'm happy to provide tours in my home region of Central Japan. But at the same time, I can help travelers design travel experience that's far more, far more personalized and aligned with their interests so that they can have a meaningful experience. And that's including the places across Japan. So not only my home region of Central Japan, but also the overall Japan. So,
right. And I guess if somebody is using a travel guide like yourself, the extra bonus is that you can translate things, whether it's signs or things that people say or what you might learn in a museum, for example, where they are speaking Japanese. I guess you're able to explain that in English to people who speak English, maybe other languages too. I'm not sure what else you do apart from English and Japanese.
Yes, yes, for now, English and Japanese, but definitely yes. And one of the things my clients have appreciated during my tours is that I can help connect with other locals better. So that, like, for example, if there is any particular craft the travelers are interested in, I can help them connect with local crafts people who are passionate about that particular craft, and I can help them communicate with each other. And the feedback I receive usually from these tours is that I can have a really positive feedback from both travelers and the locals themselves. They are kind of like happy and like really showing the smiles on their face, which makes me really happy. So I'd love to, create these, the positive interactions between two parties. That's, I think, like the beauty of the travel in general.
Okay. I think one of the things that a lot of us in Australia love is Japanese food. So is that an area that you are interested in, and would you help people to experience a broad range of what's on offer in Japan? You know, not just the typical sort of street food that we would be aware of, the sushi, this sort of thing. But is that one of the areas that is of interest to you, the food speciality?
Of course. So one aspect of the elements I include in my tours is, bringing people to the authentic Japanese, restaurant. So the food element is definitely, the big, part of the, tour experience I create.
And do you have a few secret places that you can take people?
Yes, I have, several destinations, even like around, in my like neighborhood. And I have a few places that, where my guests absolutely loved. Yes.
I'm just intrigued when I come to Japan one day, I'll be intrigued to go to one of those really small restaurants where maybe there's only 4 seats at the chef's table, and he serves you what he wants to serve you, and you can't get in otherwise, yeah?
Yeah. Usually, like the places I bring my guests to are the places where just only the Japanese menu is available, and like the places you'd otherwise never thought of like stepping in. So those little secret places. Yes.
Yeah, I think people would love that. Secret Japan. I haven't seen the book on Secret Japan. Maybe that's what you got to write. But then there would be no secrets left, would there?
Yeah.
Then there'd be over-tourism there.
No, there are lots of secrets that are yet still be uncovered.
Okay. Well, maybe when we talk to you again, we can get a sense of some of those things that you could share with the people who want to catch up with you in Japan. Do you have repeat business? The people who've come to one part of Japan or another get in touch with you and want to come back and go somewhere else, and have you help them?
Yes. I do have, the repeat travelers. Yeah.
That's good.
Because they absolutely love Japan on their first visit. They usually, like most of them, would love to visit here again. Right. Also for the second or the third time, like even so.
Sounds fantastic. So most of the travelers, well, we know we have a lot of Australian travellers there, but other countries are sending their visitors to Japan at the moment.
Oh, so I'd say all over Japan, all over the world.
Really?
Honestly. But I personally
And is that the Olympics effect, do you think?
I think the Japan has been increasingly popular year by year. So I don't think this kind of trend won't stop for the foreseeable future.
Okay. And you don't think there's any one thing that's caused this upswing in interest?
I think like I said, like one of the motivations, because like we have lots of like returning travelers, right?
Yes.
Because they absolutely love Japan on their, first visit. They want to visit again, but at the same time, they talk about their travel experiences with friends and families. And these people want to visit here again, right?
Yes.
I mean, like these people are like that kind of like, makes their friends and families interested in visiting here. And so, yeah, it's kind of like, really booming.
Okay. Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Now, that sounds great. So, Miyuki, I would like to chat with you again. Are you happy to be our sort of expert up there in Japan?
Of course.
Yeah? Okay. And I'm happy to help get your travel guide business known so that people, have somebody that they've heard and can get in touch with you. So we'll put in our show notes, we will put a contact email address for you. Are you happy with that?
I do have a podcast, as you mentioned, the Japan Experts podcast. And
Yes.
I do have a website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put those. You've given them to me, so we will add those to our show notes so that people can get in touch. Miyuki, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again real soon. And the details of Miyuki's personal tour guide business will be available on our website and also on SoundCloud in the show notes. So thanks again, Miyuki.
Thank you so much.
We welcome Miyuki Seguchi, who will add great value and currency to our program as we look to enlarge our coverage of the fast-rising tourist destination, Japan. And yes, in future episodes, she'll speak about food and tell us some of her secret places.
Let's craft your dream Japan trip together. Head over to Instagram at japan.experts and DM me Japan. I'll personally share expert insights and recommendations to help you plan with ease and feel confident about your trip, so you can make unforgettable lifelong memories in Japan. Not on Instagram, no worries. Join the Japan Experts community on Facebook, where I share exclusive travel tips and answer your questions, or grab one of my free Japan travel guides. All the links are in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you soon.